Hi everyone. In today's episode, I will explain about the feather boards types and uses, so check it out. There are many types of feather boards out there, but these two are the main types. The universal magnetic type that can be placed anywhere on the cast iron table saw, and the one that uses the T-track mounting mechanism on the table saw and router table. The magnetic type still has its limitations, as it can only be mounted on a cast iron surface and won't be considered as an option if you are using a portable table saw that is made of aluminum, and also it cannot be used on fences as most fences are made of Teflon, aluminum or plywood. So this is to be considered when choosing the feather board that will work for you. When mounting the feather board on the saw table, you always have to keep it at least ½ inch shy from the saw blade, as mounting the feather board next to the saw blade will make it act as another fence, which will trap the cutwood piece between the saw blade and the feather board and eventually throw it back at you. Generally speaking, feather boards are not considered as anti-kickback jig, as its main function is to hold down the workpiece on the saw table or against the fence during the cutting operation, which will give you cleaner cuts and better control over the workpiece. They might reduce the kickback in certain situations, but you cannot count on them for that. So to prevent potential kickbacks, you better use the riving knife for that particular job. I would consider feather boards as a useful jig to have around in some situations, but it's not an essential one. Now let's take a look at the feathers board design. The feather boards are designed this way for two main reasons. The first one is to allow the workpiece to move forward in one direction only, as the feathers are angled forward and will apply resistance to the backward movements. The second reason for this design is to make the feathers work as a push spring to continuously keep the workpiece pressed against the saw table or the fence. When cutting wide and long boards like this one, it is often challenging to keep a downward pressure on the board at the start of the cut, as you will be feeding the board by holding it from the furthest edge. Hence, the feathers board that is mounted on the fence comes to play by keeping the board you are cutting pressed downward against the saw table, and you only need to worry about feeding the board and keeps it pressed against the fence. At the end, I hope that this video will help you decide if you should buy feathers board or not, and which type will suit your work and table saw style. Thank you for watching and happy woodworking.